All right, so good afternoon. We're in trouble.
Let's try that again. Ready? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
We'll work on them. It'll come around. I know it's the afternoon version.
Exactly. Well, my name is Twana German. I'm the executive director with the Sauk Prairie Chamber, and so we've got lots of new faces in the room, which makes me excited because this session really was designed for our service industry, restaurant, retailers, convenience stores, grocery stores, whatever the case may
Everyone.
be. And so we are going to do a training in March, April, and May. And it's all designed around customer service, and that starts with us on the inside, but then also our business qualities and how it looks. And so each month I'll have a different theme. Just so you know, we are doing 2 trainings each month, one from 8 to 9:30 in the morning, so half the staff could come, and then in the afternoon from 2 to 3:30. We do encourage lots of participation with Drew, and as I told the first group, we are starting to film some of our training sessions so that we can have them on our website, send them out in newsletters for those that weren't.
Everyone turn around and wave at the cameraman.
Yeah,
right
so
now,
turn
wave.
around.
Say hi to everybody.
Wave to
Yep.
Kurt back there.
Yeah, don't be shy. What happens here goes on social media.
That's right. But also what happens here, you're the test monkeys for whether we continue to do this or not. So got to look like they're fun and exciting so people will join us. But I am thrilled to have Drew Nussbaum here. He's with the Department of Tourism, and he goes around the state really selling Wisconsin and helping people such as Chambers of Commerce, Visitors Bureau, just kind of have the resources that we need to do our work. But Drew is really a friend to Sauk County. He, for a number of years, worked with the Columbia County Tourism Board, and as a result of that position, worked a lot in Sauk County, and we would do collaborative projects. So he's someone that I've depended on over the years, and he has a wealth of information. So I encourage you to make the most of his presence today. Ask questions. If you've got situations on how to handle something, that's what we're here for. So Drew, with that,
Thank you.
for being
Thank
here.
you. I want to thank all of you for taking time out of your day to be here. Little housekeeping thing. One of the things you always hear at the beginning of this presentation: take your phones out and mute them. Well, don't. All right, leave your phones on. Raise your hand if you're a business person and you have business to conduct and people that may need to get a hold of you, even if it's family. Keep your phone on. Do never mute your phone for me. If you need to take a call because it revolves around money, life, or getting on with whatever it is you're doing, I encourage you to do that. I'm sincere about that. I raise your hand if you're a taxpayer. Thank you. I work for you. All right. 7 years ago, I took this job with the Department of Tourism. Before that, I'd spent many years in hospitality and then in tourism for many years, marketing and media and business. I have arguably one of the best jobs in the state of Wisconsin. I get to travel the state, all 4 corners, meet people every day. And quite frankly, my job is to brag about how great you are. I mean, I go around and promote all the things we have and position ourselves as a premier destination here in the Midwest. It's a tough job, but it's a great job because, again, you all make that possible. I love this area, and it sounds like a cheap campaign speech. I'm not running for office. I don't need your vote. But I do love this area, and as Tawana explained, I go back a ways. This is my daughter who was and now is. This was right down on the shores of the river down here. We had a family outing, just spent a day just hanging out. And it was a simple day. No major plans, day trip, ran over, just hung out, got some food, went back, hung out. It was a beautiful summer day. This actually was on the cover of the Sauk County Guide years ago. I mean, it's a photo that I've used in so many presentations, but it's great to bring it home. It was here. So my memories of this are very personal as well. And as a family, we still talk about that simple day that we spent here, just hanging out and going out and having a bite to eat and then hanging out and then going out and doing a little shopping and hanging out. Just a long day. I loved it. I want to make sure, let's see if this works. There we go. I pulled a clip of this video. Again, we can all wave at the cameraman in the back of the room. This was a piece that he put together about a year ago to promote Sauk City, Sauk Prairie. And I just loved it because, again, this is what people see when they go out to look for information on Sauk. What is there to do here? Are the people happy? Are they smiling? Are they engaging? You know, what's the schools like? All of these pieces that go into that puzzle. How many of you have seen this before? Okay. Hence my earlier discussion, we need more video. Because this is truly, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about technology and where we're going in the social realm. How many of you have a phone out right now? When I said go ahead and leave your phones out, how many do? How many are logged into some form of social media right now? So you could share with your 5,000 friends. I'm stuck in this room with this guy. OMG, hope you get out on time, right? Okay? That is the communication and the way that we can interact. Now, who's part of that Y generation? Okay, let me use the M word. Who's part of the millennial generation? Got one, all of a sudden he's like, yeah. Are you a proud millennial?
I try.
Are you? Do you like the term millennial?
It doesn't really bother
Doesn't bother you?
me. No.
Who else is a millennial in this room? She's going, yeah. Are you hip on the millennial term? No, why not? You have a job, you're not living in your parents' basement? Right? Okay, you're here at customer service. But yet, this is your communication, right? You've spent your life. You didn't unplug the phone from the wall to move to this. There used to be a cord that plugged into the wall. You had this phone you had to pick up, dial. It was amazing how it worked. Computers were the same way. It's kind of funny when I'm just picking it. She's like, would you please shut up? Okay? I'm an equal opportunity offender. I will get around the room. You'll all be made fun of before we're done here. Before we get into technology and we get into customer service and we talk about all these things, one of the first things I want to hit on is I'll debunk one piece when we started. You were welcome to training. How many of you signed up for customer service training today? Coming to a customer service training. I'm not going to train you to do anything. You can't be trained. You can be trained to do a job. How many of you were trained at your, whatever it is you're doing for a living, someone trained you on some certain parts of it? You were trained. In order to be a really good cashier, someone had to train you to be competent and confident in that position. Whatever we're doing, mechanic, cook, baker, loans, whatever it may be, someone trained us. In order to be comfortable in our positions, we had to be trained, and then we had to be confident that we were trained effectively. Then we could go out and be relaxed to engage with the public because we knew what we're talking about. We knew what's behind us. And it changes the playing field. So I do believe that customer service and the willingness to communicate with one another comes from here and here. Have you ever walked into one of those businesses, 10 o'clock at night? Hi, how are you? Fine. What's there to do here? Nothing. You like working here? It's all right. What do you guys do for fun? Leave. All right. We laugh, but the sad part is, how many of you have had that happen? Yeah, okay. Those of you in the convenience store industry, I won't pick on you. I was a convenience store guy. I know how this works, okay? And I still, to this day, I'll walk into a convenience store, I'll walk into a business that's open at night and try that, and too often I get that. Now, is that because the person behind the counter is having a bad day? No. Typically, it's because we hired the wrong person. We put a person behind the counter. Maybe we had to, couldn't find anybody else, so we just, process of elimination, let's find that guy who'll stand here from 10 to 6. But the reality is too often we've just hired the wrong person. We've put someone there who doesn't like people. And there's 200,000 jobs available in the state where you don't have to engage with anybody. But we take people and we put them in hospitality positions where, quite frankly, they shouldn't be, and we expect miracles. And we've got to go back to where we expect hospitality to be natural, customer service to be natural. And I know it's tough. I'm not going to make fun, I'm not going to ignore the workforce scenario. 3% unemployment, 3% of the population's unemployable, doesn't give you a big sliver to work with as far as workforce goes. So I'm not ignorant to the workforce aspect of it. I know where that's going. And over the last 20 years, you go back in the 90s, we had a very similar situation there as well. So it does repeat itself. Now, before we get into any of the rest of this, though, one of the most important aspects of customer service, of anything that we do that engages people, is a very simple aspect. How are you, sir? I'm Drew. Thanks for being here.
Meet you, Drew.
Appreciate it. How are you doing?
Good.
Pleasure. Thank you. Thanks for being here. How many people in this room, how are you doing, ma'am?
Good.
How many people in this room, there's at least one person in here that you do not know? Safe to say? Go meet them. Yes, I'm really doing this. Okay? Stand up. Go meet them. Hey, thanks for being here.
How you doing?
Now, here's a fun little tip. How many of you are public speakers? Get in front of a group and talk to people? If you want to kill a half an hour, just do this in a group of like 1,000 people. Just turn them loose and you can go to the bathroom, go have a drink, have a beer, get some cheese, wine. You come back, they're still talking. How many of you love public speaking? You would get up in front of that 1,000 people, give a speech just like that. That's your thing. 1, 2, maybe 2, 3. That's doing good. Maybe 3.5. It's like I'm auctioning something off here, don't I? How many of you getting up and speaking in front of large groups for anything scares the hell out of you? Honestly. Yet the minute I said go meet someone, everyone in this room instantly had a smile and instantly started talking. Didn't matter whether you were introvert, extrovert, scared of the public, outgoing, you instantly had a smile. Here's why. Sociology, psychology, this will bring it right back to you. The fear of unknown, the fear of meeting people actually makes us happy. Because think about it, when you were a kid, you went to the playground. The only thing you wanted to do is find other kids. I want to go play. The only fear was you'd get there and there's no other kids. You'd be by yourself. And it didn't matter if it was boys, girls, it didn't matter race, color, religion, it didn't matter. It didn't matter if you didn't speak the same language. I need to be around kids, I want to have fun, I want to hang out at the playground. We were happy. It wasn't until we got older that we started dragging the baggage and we started, okay, boys are over here, girls over there, that clique's over there, these kids are over here, uptown's there, downtown's here, doesn't matter anymore. We started going off in our corners. We're wired to be happy people. It's in our DNA. Somehow we do lose it though. Somehow in our paths in life we do tend to walk away from this. And it's rather unfortunate if you think about it. It really is rather unfortunate because look at how in this room, instantly the volume level went to 10 and each one of you met, hopefully, did you meet somebody you haven't met before? How many of you in business would like to gain one new customer a day?
Qualify that question.
A good customer every day. A customer that walks in the door with a stack of money and says, I really like you, you take care of me, you're a good person, I like your business, and the more I come here, I'll keep bringing you my business. And then I'll go save up more because I like you, I'll come back and I'll spend more money with you. I have options. Lots of options. I can go to your business or I can go to probably 25 other in the region and I can spend that same money. But if I like you and I trust you and I like your business, I'll bring you that stack of money every time. So yes, I am a blatant capitalist and I don't apologize for that either because money's what makes our world go round, doesn't it? That's what takes, even if you work at a not-for-profit organization, you need money. We don't just grow it on the tree and pluck it and bring it in. Ask the right questions. Do we welcome people? Hi, I'm Drew. Welcome. Thanks for being here. How are you today? Where are you from? Tell me about yourself. Get the conversations going. We've kind of lost the great lost art. We're into the great lost art of conversation today because somewhat, and that's the only negative in my opinion of social media. We will say things here that we would never say face to face, and it's easier to engage. We've lost some of that passion for truly engaging with people one-on-one, having a conversation, having a laugh. We'll put it here. Plus, we'll say things on here we would never say in public, right? It's amazing when I read the things that people comment, I go, I can't believe that person said that. What's worse is if they say that about your business. So that's another thing we're going to talk about. But making sure that we have those proper welcomes in place. Welcoming people to Wisconsin is a wonderful job, but it's a great challenge. Our main markets for promoting our state, telling people how wonderful we are, Illinois, Michigan, Minnesota, Iowa, our border states. That's where we spread the wealth. That's where we talk about who we are, encourage those folks to come here. The only difference is that we need them along with us. Why do I say that? Well, who's flown out of Mitchell International Airport? International airport. Flying to Canada does not denote an international airport, but that's where Mitchell flies you to. There's a few other flights now, they've expanded a little, but if you want to take an international flight, we need our friends in Chicago and Minneapolis. And to get our friends here, we need those corridors. So we do have to make sure that we can bring folks out of those markets to our state. In that process, it also helps us connect beyond those borders because we want those states to bring those people from beyond their borders through them. Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania, wonderful market for us. Wisconsin is popular in the Ohio Valley. We do very well. People there tell us, we like what you're selling, and when we come to see you, we like it even more. And an interesting tidbit there, I can say those things, and you can go, yeah, whatever, he's paid to do that. We actually do research on that. In the last 2 years, we did research where we flat out asked people, have you ever been to Wisconsin? No. Perfect. What do you think of us? And they ranked us on all these different attributes. Then we asked, once you've been here, what do you think of us? Same things. We exceeded expectations in every category we could throw at them. Think about that as your business. How many products do you have in your business that every time you sell the product, you exceed the expectations? The reality of having the product is better than seeing the product. That's a wonderful thing when you know that you're selling an opportunity to visit our state, visit our communities, visit your towns, visit your business, and in every circumstance, customers will be impressed when they get here. That's something to be very proud of, and the research showed that, so it really led to this, to knowing that we can expand these borders. We went into St. Louis last year with a full court press and really spent some money to make sure that we could make an impression there, promote our state. We had a huge return on that investment. We saw phenomenal numbers. Now, again, how do we know that? Through the wonders of technology. There's a little program we use called Arrivalist. This will make you think different about how much you use these things. If you watch our promotion, our video, anything that we have out there in St. Louis about Wisconsin, even if you didn't touch it, you didn't interact with it, there it is. We know it. Whether you logged in from your phone, your tablet, your desktop, it's one account, you did it. So you saw it. If 2 weeks from there, you, with that phone or the tablet or anything else you brought, showed up in our state, and while you were here, you spent time in the state, and then you went back home to St. Louis, we know it. Arrivalist. Beautiful. Love technology. The great thing about that is now we can actually change the message to those folks and time it out to when we want them to be here. So we've changed the way we reach out to these folks. Now, again, I throw that out there just because it shows you that we are no longer just an island called Wisconsin. We've got to think that we are this region. We've got to think how we can get people through here. If I say 2 words, Southern hospitality, what does that mean? Anybody? Tell me. Southern hospitality. Anybody been to the South?
Fried food.
Fried food. You got you think the same way I do. I like this guy. What is that, sir?
Black eyed peas and candy.
Black eyed peas. Anyway. Yes, ma'am. How y'all doing?
Sweet tea.
Sweet tea, Southern hospitality. Anybody worked in the South? Lived in the South? Speed of service. Faster than us? Slower than us?
A lot slower.
Yeah, my first reaction when I worked in the South was, I'm from the Midwest. Time is money. Got to go. And they just looked at me and said, y'all need chill. We're here till 10 o'clock. Good Lord, y'all going to kill us. And I thought, what is wrong with these people? Until I talked to the guests. And they said, no, we love it. They're wonderful. They're warm. They're sincere. We don't care if we got to wait a couple of minutes. They truly take care of us. So I realized, wait a minute, it's not the speed. It's the quality of the service that makes a big difference. So I got thinking about the northern hospitality aspect. Now we're not going to start promoting the Wisconsin as a northern hospitality. But if southern hospitality can do it, why can't we? And part of my reality on this started, I took a vacation in 1994. For 5 years, I'd been in the restaurant business, working my tail off, hadn't taken a vacation. I had a 5-year-old son who I didn't see enough of, and my wife, who had been telling me we need to take a vacation. So we decided, let's take a week, load up the car, let's go. As a kid, I had been to SeaWorld. Anybody been to SeaWorld? When you come from the Midwest, seeing big tanks, big fish, I don't know, to me it was just cool. I've never seen that before. Other than Shed Aquarium, this was just a whole different scenario for me. So I'm like, I want to see this. There was a new one that had opened in San Antonio. Let's go. Loaded up the family. Let's take a week. Let's get out of Dodge. I got to go. We got to Oklahoma after a couple of days of driving, taking our time. Have you been through Oklahoma and Texas in the middle of summer?
Yep.
Okay, there's 100 degrees, and there's 100 degrees in Oklahoma. That Gulf Stream, good Lord, it's hot. I don't mind heat, but it was hot. And it got hotter when I discovered that the air conditioning in my car gave out somewhere around Ardmore, Oklahoma. And my 5-year-old son in the back seat going, Dad, 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 it's hot in here. And ladies, bless you, the look you can give us from the passenger seat is just priceless. I looked over and, yeah, I know, windows down. Thought you said this car was good to go. It was. It worked fine for the first 1,000 miles. We proceeded to drive the rest of the way to San Antonio in 100-degree temps in a car with no air, and a 5-year-old. And a 5-year-old. We got to San Antonio on a Tuesday, parked, I think, in Mexico. I didn't realize how far out we were. Walked up, bought the tickets. I have 5 children now. I had 1. I would need a second mortgage probably to go back now. I did not realize that, because remember my stack of money I was talking about? I brought the stack of money for the trip, and I knew where the 50% mark was going to be to turn around and go home. Somehow, after I bought the tickets, I was already getting into the below 50% mark. So my vacation's having a little different connotation. My son, we go in for the day. My wife, they delivered. San Antonio, great experience, SeaWorld. It was everything I'd hoped it would be. Proud dad moment. We get out of there to go find a hotel room. Now, what did not exist in 1994? No smart technology. If you were smart, you had the phone with a stupid little antenna on the trunk, plugged into the floor with a bag, and if you had a phone book, then you were smart. I had none. I drove around San Antonio looking for a hotel room that fit into my stack of capital, okay? Should be no problem on a Tuesday finding a hotel room in a big city, except when the largest insurance conference on the planet is there the same day I am. There is nowhere to stay in this city. I'm driving around, I don't know what to do, I'm panicking, I get on have you been to Texas? Big state. Everything's big in Texas, including the areas that have nothing. When you leave San Antonio, you find nothing. When they say no services, they mean it. I'm driving, I'm finding nothing. After a few, I don't know, couple hours of driving, I found what I was looking for. Ladies, would you not be impressed with your loving husband if we brought you to the Texas version of the hotel? Oh, I was a proud dad. I pull up to the front door of this place. It looks like a scene out of Turner Classic Movies. Glass windows, rooms, very dark, and time hadn't been well. I go up to the office, I pull up, I walk in, and there's a little old lady behind the counter, glasses on her nose, just like a movie scene. Hi, I need a room. She goes, y'all look tired. Uh-huh. Are y'all really from Wisconsin? Uh-huh. Yeah, I'll get you. Yeah, I got a room, sure. Drive around back, number 8. Here you go. Hands me, you remember the chain, the key, the real thing. No cards. Hands me the key. I said, okay, do you need my credit card, or y'all get a night's sleep? We'll take care of that when you check out. Sweet. Now, men, do we ask directions? Do we ask for any information? No. I knew the answer to this question, but I asked it anyway. I looked down. Is there anywhere to eat? We haven't eaten. I've been panicking driving for the hotel. No, honey, the diner closed a couple hours ago. She goes, but there's vending machines out back. Skittles and Coke. Parent of the year. Put a 5-year-old to bed after a day at a water park, amusement park with Skittles and God knows what. We pull around the back. I put the key in the door, find out I don't really need the key. Open the door, and in all its glory, there's our room. Worn, not dirty, but worn. Air conditioning hits me like a wave. I haven't felt air conditioning in 2 or 3 days. Okay, I need air conditioning, and it's here. It's cold. Just like ease. We sit down on the edge of the bed, the 3 of us. We turn on the television, watch both channels I got in Texas in 1994. Yeah, in black and white. After about 15 minutes of sitting there, I assume the position. This hotel cannot have anybody knocking on a door at 10 o'clock at night for any good reason. until I opened the door, and who was there?
The lady with food.
Box, 3 cheeseburgers, 3 Cokes. I called my friends at the diner, and they had some food left over. They brought this down for you. Hope that's okay. I was ready to cry. You probably saved my marriage. Thanks. I thanked her, and you know, can I pay? No, see you in the morning, dear. I'm in her business. I'm in her home. She doesn't know my name. She doesn't know my credit card information. All she knows is I'm from Wisconsin. Knows nothing about me. I haven't given her a dime. Next morning, I go to check out. Honestly, I slept like a rock. Food, air, done. I'm a guy. I can sleep on the floor. I had a bed. Went down to check out the next morning, and who was at the office? You know what it's like to have your own business. She was there. She goes, y'all look a lot more rested than you did last night, boy. I said, thank you, ma'am. I said, you've been very sweet. I said, what do I owe you? $25. 94, $25 was cheap. I said, what about the food? Oh, hey, that's something they're probably just going to throw out anyway. Y'all don't owe me anything. Well, are you sure? Yeah, thank you. But y'all going to stick around, right? No. Why? I mean, I don't want to be rude. This woman was being sweet to me. There's nothing here. She goes, you need to stick around. It's the first Wednesday of the month. Mm-hmm. Yep, got a calendar. Well, first Wednesday of the month, the boys come into town. They fire up the brisket pits downtown. They're going to cook barbecue today. And then some of the other folks around us set up some tents and stuff outside, and they have like a craft fair type of thing. She goes, and then at night, this is really cool. You're going to like this. The Indian folk come down from up on the hill, and they do that dance. And we get to go out there, and we get to dance with them. It's really cool. You should come down there. Yeah, no. No. Wife in car, now, not doing this. But she was like, you know, you really should check it out. We're really friendly around here. Here's a card. Chamber gave me this thing. Free lunch. Why don't y'all at least go down and have a sandwich? She got me, right? She knows me. She knows how to sell. I probably would react to free food. I was talking to her, thanking her profusely for being so nice to me. And you know next what happened, and you know why it happened. My son comes walking in the door, 5 years old. Why did he come in the door, ladies? Shut up your father, get him in this car. Your father likes to talk to people, go get him. Walks in the door. Hi, Dad. Mom's, yeah. Is that your boy? Yeah, that's my son. Oh, isn't he sweet? Hey, we got free rides for the kids today down there, too. They got some amusement rides set up. Tell your dad to take you down there and get some free rides. Oh, she's good. But now we're in it together. I'm like, you're going to go out and help me pitch this one. We go out to the car, explain to my wife. She's like, really? I go, yeah, let's go. Let's just go down. She's been really nice. We get down there, pull up into this old town. And this is an old town. The only thing, their claim to fame here is they have like this little train depot they remodeled into kind of a visitor center. That's it. Old buildings, old rail town, old cow town. I mean, if you've seen the Westerns, this is it. This is dirt. I'm an outgoing, I like to meet people kind of person. I'm not shy. Big surprise, right? My wife is not the gregarious type. We pull up in front of this business, and the Marlboro man walked out of this business. Tall, black hat, good, what's for dinner guy. Opens my wife's car door. Howdy, ma'am. I heard we got friends from Wisconsin. I want to show you my town. We got some great stores. She is gone. Big smile. Wallet in hand. Gone. My son goes, Dad, rides? I go, yeah, let's go. I go get the food. He's riding the rides. She's hanging out with Marlboro Man. I'm eating. He's riding rides. It's getting warm. I'm having a beer or 5. 3 in the afternoon. We've been having a blast. I'm tanked. Wife comes back with bags. She's been buying everything in town. We're having a fun time. Don't know how it happened. Snuck up on us somewhere. We go back to the hotel because I realized at that point, not driving to Louisiana tonight, are we, kids? Stayed another night. Before that, we came back, though, that night, and we went downtown. Because remember, who here is old enough to remember line dancing? Oh, I couldn't do it then. I probably couldn't do it now. But a few beers in Texas and the right influence, I was rocking the dance floor. And since it looks so doggone good on the Marlboro Man, forgot I had this earlier, it was in my trunk. This came from that town. Because, again, when in Rome, right? We had the best time, and we were treated like we were locals. We were welcomed. I mean, it was all night long. It was, y'all that kid from Milwaukee? You talk funny. I mean, but it was fun all night. My son was hanging out. He was making friends. It was the most amazing time in a town that had nothing to offer but its people. When we checked out the next day, and I thanked that lady profusely for her hospitality, I got back to Wisconsin a few days later, and it was like an epiphany. I went back to my business, went back to my staff. I said, I've been doing this wrong. We've been doing this wrong. Because we've been worried about our business and making our money. We're part of a community. I don't know what the chamber's up to. I don't know what events we have going on in town. We've never supported anything. We're not doing anything with the schools. I don't know what we're doing here. But all I know is we're going to do something a little bit different, because if this town with 1,000 people in the middle of nowhere in Texas can get it done, our town rocks. We can do this thing. We can bring this home. So it changed my whole attitude on training, to where I said, we can't train anymore. We're only going to train you to do the job. After that, you got to bring it. And it starts out with knowing our products and services. What are you selling? Does everyone in your business know what you do? What product or service you offer and how it works? Everyone. Are they prolific on it? Are they experienced to where they can truly explain, here's what we do? Not that they have to know every aspect of your business, but they're truly knowledgeable and they're in tune with what we do and why we do it. How many of you have been in every business in Sauk City or Prairie du Sac? Not so much. How about on your own block? Have you walked in every business up and down on your side of the block or in your neighborhood? How many? One? Couple? Maybe? Got a few? Maybe. The opportunity to meet people was as simple as one person in this room that you hadn't met before. You want one new customer? Imagine if it's 10 or 15, and most of those people are already here in our community. We have that opportunity right here to meet our fellow business owners, our fellow citizens, residents, so that we're lockstep with the message we provide. So when we tell these visitors coming to our community, here's who we are. And if I don't have it, they got it. They don't got it, she's got it, he's got it, they got it. We know where to send people. We know how to communicate. We know how to promote our community and all the things that we offer one another. It brings us together. And again, taking you back to my Texas story, that is what opened my eyes to being a true neighbor. And not just tourism, everything. Everything in our community, because we all need it. If it's a fun place to visit, it needs to be a fun place to live. And if it's a fun place to live, it's probably a place you want to live and work. And it does go together when we're talking about workforce and recruitment and retention as well. This really is one message. It's not tourism message, economic development message, workforce message. It is one. And then, of course, knowing our customers. And we'll come back to that one, obviously, a lot more. Community. Here's a picture I took not too long ago when the trail was dedicated. Okay? Wonderful piece of development for this community. As Tawana knows, we were involved in this discussion for years about what's going to happen with that trail and where's it going to go. And now it's become a major significant part of news, and the connectability to take it to Devil's Lake and how far. It really is phenomenal what this is going to mean. In how we portray that is just another piece of the potential impact that we can make on someone's life. Those intrinsic qualities, the things that we offer to people. How did Sauk City get its name? Who's a historian in the room? Anybody? Prairie du Sac. If I write into town and say, tell me about your town. When did it start? How did it get the name? What's the history here? And you're looking to me for the answer.
I just moved here.
Did you? Where are you from?
Milwaukee.
Really? Nobody nailed your foot down? You came here on your own?
Mm-hmm.
So you've proven this does work.
Mm-hmm.
See? She's already on the spot. Okay. First homework assignment for you is the history of your community. Dig into it. Find it out. Share it with everyone else in this room. Where did that come from? Obviously, there's some Native American history that goes in line with this. But where did it come from? Sauk County, where did these are questions that people will ask you about your community that will teach you a lot about your community. What's the history? What's our roots? What's our future? More on a tourism side, let's say tonight I want to go out and have a pizza. Where would you send me? Okay. I see a few people nodding. No? Where would you send me?
Windmill.
Don't know. Windmill?
Not open anymore.
Not open.
I'd send you up to each of them.
That's where you'd send me, right? Yeah. Yeah. Go sit in the parking lot. Where else? I got one. I got, what, maybe? Senate. You guys got pizza?
Yes.
Good pizza? All right. There you go. How about anyone else? What are my options?
Eight is out of Lake Wisconsin.
Okay. You been there?
Yeah.
You know it?
Yeah.
They know you?
They know my husband now.
Oh, okay. Yeah. She's going to bail out of this one a little bit, right?
I sent him to get pizza.
Oh, okay.
Gino's East downtown Chicago.
I'm a recovering Chicagoan, remember.
Well, yeah.
My joke is I crossed the line in '89 and never went back. Remember those Escape to Wisconsin stickers? Advertising works. I came here in '89, never went back. I still own property in Illinois and I pay taxes. So I do pick on Illinois, but I welcome their money. We can't wait. You see an Illinois plate, I just see the stack of money coming into the state. Come on up. Come on. As far north as I can get you. Let's go. Let's go. How big's your stack? Oh, you got another 200-300 miles to go. Come on. Come on. You can still snowmobile in Eagle River. Get up there. Let's go. I'll get you a sled. What questions would you ask me, though, if I say, I want to go out for pizza tonight? What questions would you need to ask me to find out?
What kind of pizza do you like?
Okay. What kind? What kind of pizza?
Do you need a family environment?
Bingo. Thank you. Do I have my kids along? Do I have family? What am I looking for? You know, I'm a burger and beer kind of guy. But with the kids along, no. I definitely want something to sit down. So those are things to take into consideration. And for families, what do you like to do? Where do you want to go? Make sure we ask very clarifying questions. We want to get the right answer. But also, make sure you were going to send me, where was it again?
Cages.
Okay, because you know the product. You stand behind what they sell. They know your husband, and that's a good thing. I go in, what's your husband's name?
Neil.
If I go and say, hey, Neil sent me in here to get a pizza tonight, I go, we know Neil. You know? But, you know, that is the reality, though, of giving a recommendation. Those things are personal. It gives us a bond here. We've got to make sure that we know what we're saying and how we're representing it. Know how to answer those questions. Have a little fun with it. In contrast, make sure that we do ask enough of those questions. Where are you from? Where are you guys coming from tonight? Are you staying here in town? What hotel are you at? You find out these things. And you know, well, how long are you here for? Where did you come from? It's great intel, because in the process of that, you may uncover things they need they don't know this community has, and you now know. And again, who in here does not want to help their fellow business? It's part of the community. So if they come to you with a stack of money and you can't sell them something, but you can send them down the street, and you can send them down the street, and you can send them over there, and oh, by the way, you got to get your pizza. Don't forget your pizza, and you might need a cold beer. Go get that. Okay, we can keep that money in our community just by engaging those folks. There we go. I love this photo. What's wrong with that? Do you know where that was taken? Yeah. I know, I love it. I purposely took that picture just because we noticed that right away. I'm like, okay, that's too cool not to point out. But you know, it's those little things sometimes. Sometimes we try to look for the big things to have fun with, and sometimes it's just the little things that we can find out about. But make sure we know about them, and if we've been there, we can share those experiences as well. Don't forget about the non-visitor experience aspects of your community. Healthcare. In a session much like this a few years ago, I had a chamber director sitting right there. Phone rings. Why? Because I tell people don't turn their phone off. And she took her call. Yes, ma'am. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Instantly, I'm like, okay, guys, let's stop for a minute. Let's let her grab this call. Couple were going to be staying at a resort in that community, 45th, 50th wedding anniversary. She was calling to say, I'm afraid I may have to cancel my reservation. The resort's not open today. Can you help me here? Why do you want to cancel? My husband just had a heart issue, just got out of the hospital. I don't think that we can take this trip. I don't want to be that far from the hospital. God forbid something happen. She goes, well, we've got a trauma level, whatever it is, clinic in our town, and I can connect you. I know the nurse out there in the ER. I can connect you if you want. You can talk to them. Maybe it'll, three-way call in the middle of a customer service session. They're chatting. They're talking. Next thing you know, all good. Thank you. Appreciate that. They connected up, convinced them it was all good. They came. I've got a letter that the chamber director gave me. About 2 weeks after they got back from their vacation, said thank you for everything. And they actually went to the clinic while they were on vacation to thank the nurse at the ER for being so personable, saying, if it wasn't for you reassuring us that you guys could, God forbid, save him, we never would have done this. And we had the best trip of our life. I mean, that's a pretty powerful message when you think about it. One person, the different, and it was healthcare. It was a hospital that changed a vacation. So don't forget the intrinsic aspects of your community that make these differences as well. You got a map in front of you. And if you're truly a tourism person like me, you get very good at reading the maps upside down, because the only time you communicate things about where to go is when the map's upside down, someone's looking at it. I turn a map around now, I get lost. And there's no quiz on this, but just as you look at this map, how many of you have been to all four corners of the state? You've been to Lake Superior, you've been to Michigan, you've snowmobiled, you've been to all corners. You realize just how beautiful our state is. Can you send somebody there from here? Are you comfortable in sending someone to Eagle River, Siren, Superior, Bayfield? Why is that important? Because they'll send people to you. I was up there not long ago, and they were talking about, yeah, there's this place down there. It's got this free ferry. It runs across after you leave Devil's Lake and goes down there and takes you over down by the river. This place is so cool. I'm like, yeah, I know exactly where that is. Cool. Let me explain it to you. It's neat when you hear people 5-6 hours away on the other end of our state talking about your area of the state. They're sending people to you. I always say reciprocate that. Make sure that we are keeping them in our state, sharing that well. And if you've been on a vacation anywhere in the state, tell people about it. Don't be shy. Put those messages out there. Make sure we communicate the cool things we've seen. Because what's the first thing you do when you get a few days off? Do you stay in your own house? Most of us hit the road, we go somewhere, right? We're great tourists, just not in our backyard. Nothing wrong with staying in your backyard on occasion too, the staycation idea. But we do hit the road, we do go out there. Does everybody see this picture? Tell me what you see.
Fine dining.
Fine dining? Bless you. What else do you see?
No customers.
No customers. Why would that be?
Not open.
Okay. Okay. Why else? Why? No. Why? Who was that? Why else? Don't be shy. Who was? Too fine a dining. Okay.
Their food sucks.
Say it like it is. Bad food. Okay. Daytime, nighttime.
Daytime.
Okay. Yeah. Windows. Business is open. Here's where you need a little more data to know what's going on in the scenario. You are the customer. You opened the door. You were going in to have dinner. You're standing at the door, and now you encounter this. You're shaking your head. I see a couple of people like, oh no. How many of you are blatant optimists? Go in, sit down. There's plenty of places to sit. I don't care. I get a place to sit. 4. How many of you turn and bail? Okay. This is a very nice dining operation in a very nice resort in an area that has a lot of shows. It's not in Wisconsin. Somebody would figure this out in time, and I don't need to pick on anybody. What happened was that during the slow times when the shows in the area were filled, you could have this. You could have an empty dining because everybody's out there at these shows. This is inside a resort that's very busy. So when you got there, you saw lots of people in the resort area. You saw a lot of people checking in, parking their cars, parking lots full, people on the street. You open the door to this. Does that help to scare you off a little bit? Reality was that 65 customers per hour were turning around and closing the door. Do the math. Okay? An hour from now, when the shows were letting out, full. But during this time frame, nobody there, no customers, no workers, nothing. We took the concierge, put him in front of the door. Hi folks, how are you? Hey, I'm Drew. I can show you to a table. You got about a half an hour before the show gets out, and this place will be crazy. Can I show you to a table? I'll even get your drinks at the bars. You don't have to go over there. Oh, until 5 o'clock, hors d'oeuvres are 50% off. You want to have a seat? Can I take you in? How many now would follow me to a table? Sit down, good to go. Those of us that are bean counters, we did not add labor. We took someone on the clock, already being paid, and just moved them to a different position. Front of the door. take away the picture, put the person. Stand here and welcome these people in. And once it gets busy, go back to the concierge desk. It'll take care of itself. But during that time frame, one person got rid of that picture. Sales went up 30%. And it was all because we changed the dynamic of what people saw. Is there an opportunity to walk into your business or any other businesses that you know of when there's nobody there to welcome them? Have you seen it happen? Have you been that person? Have you walked in and there's nobody there? Or worse, you walk in the door, there's nobody there, and then from the bellows you hear, "Be with you in a minute." Okay. Essentially what we're saying when we do that is, I know you're here, I'm in the back, don't steal anything. I see people in retail truly laughing at this one. You know I've been there, right? What happens is, though, is that really is a deterrent from, one, the true engagement of what we are, and two, if I got time to stand here and look at your business, I have time to form a perception of what I think of your business. Is there something in your business that you would change right now because you know what it looks like? If you stood at the door and you just took in your business, would you go, yeah, that doesn't really look the way I would want it. This doesn't look. I would change this signage. I would change the way this looks. I would redesign this. I would make this more welcoming if I'm not there to welcome people. The minute you can take all of that away and put yourself in the scenario, and I realize sometimes that's tough, especially if you're owning your business, you're working at your business. It's just you working at your business. It's very tough to work on your business. This requires working on your business and thinking about how we're positioning our front door to welcome people in. But that is a reality, that one person makes a big difference. How many of you have had a best experience? It's something, my Texas story is my best experience from what, quite frankly, was a train wreck up until the moment I rolled into this little town. How many of you have one of those stories that you tell about? Yes?
We went to a campground right in the woods out in Watoma.
Okay.
We didn't know a single soul there, but by the time we left, we knew a lot of folks there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was very welcoming. Very
Awesome.
neat,
That's great.
rich inside.
Awesome. Who else? Who's got one of those, I sit by the campfire, I tell this story about something we did? I mean, another one of mine I showed you was my daughter sitting right along the shoreline with all my kids right here in town.
I just recently was at a large hotel chain for business, and they totally messed my room up. And I'm really easygoing with that sort of stuff. Honestly, I really didn't even care. I truly didn't. I'm like, well, this place is big. They got a lot of rooms. I'm like, I don't really care. You know, I wasn't too worried. And she's like, oh, we're gonna set you up with a suite for the next 3 days. And I'm like, okay.
Wow.
Okay. I was like,
Nice.
so it was a good experience.
Nice. And we're gonna, and you lead right into that worst experience, and I'll jump back here in a minute. How many times have you had a worst experience, or what theoretically could have been turned into a best experience because of the way they handled it? I mean, your reaction to that hotel chain would have been, You didn't really care, it wasn't 100%, but you weren't too upset. They did something awesome, and now you're like, wow.
Right.
I mean, sometimes it's the little things we do to correct the little things we do that make the biggest impact on people. I throw this one up as a best experience too. This is my brother-in-law. I'm very proud of him. He's a Marine veteran, quadriplegic. Goes out on trail. We go out with him on trails, go for hikes. I can't keep up with the guy. The thing I love about this is, one, there's nothing that he does that he says is where I expect people to accommodate me. I don't expect places to accommodate the guy in the wheelchair. He goes, my life is barrier-free if I let it be. And I will go places where I don't have barriers. And think about the other side of that. He doesn't look for places to say, I don't know if I can get in there. He goes, I know I can go here. So here's where I'll go to have my experience. His table's set. And he's very happy about it. He's very enlightening. He's a great American in my personal world, not only because he's my brother-in-law, but his attitude and the influence he's had on my children. Did not, never sweat the little things, Life is wonderful no matter what you do, and it's great to have that. But he does this too. He talks about his experiences, worst experiences. Who's got one of those? Look at smiles. Tell me a horror story. Yes.
Went to a restaurant
Yeah, don't mention names.
I won't.
Okay.
It wasn't in Sauk.
Okay.
My entire husband's side of the family, I was 8 months pregnant. We waited and waited. It was middle of summer. We were all starving. We had worked in the greenhouse all day. Starving. We waited over an hour for our appetizers. We had asked for the third time where they were. She didn't know. They blamed the kitchen and the new staff. And
Oh, pass the blame. There's one of my favorites too.
Blame
Wasn't me.
around. No management approached us, even though we were getting pretty upset.
Maybe we need to talk after this.
The waitress came back over when we canceled our entire order after an hour and a half. We still hadn't seen an appetizer. Wow. And that's when she initially just offered her first offer of drinks on the house. And as she's talking to the table, she pats me on the head and goes, "Except for you," because I was pregnant. And at that point, I was boiling, like I felt the blood rush to my face, and I was like.
Have you ever
"Here."
patted a lady on the head in your business?
No,
No, yeah.
haven't yet.
Yeah, I haven't tried that approach.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like my teeth.
Yeah, we used to go there pretty regularly, and we haven't been back since. I won't go back.
Wow. That's about as good as it gets. Yep, trump card right there. You won. You know, and isn't it sad, because think of how much it will take for you to ever forget that. I mean, that will forever be etched in here. And unfortunately, the negative so much outweighs the positive too often. It's just the nature of humans. Who else? I saw other people nodding and waving. Yes.
I had the hotel experience.
Ooh! As a former hotel guy, I can't wait for this one.
It was you leave and you go for the day, and you think you're gonna come back to your room made up, and it wasn't made up. So then we put our suits on and went to the pool, and we come back, and it's still not made up, but there's lots of open door rooms that have been made up. And I get it, the night before there was like a wedding and a class reunion, there's a lot going on in this hotel, so I was trying to be patient. And then I kind of lost it, because then I went to the front desk, and then they tried to blame it on me that I had asked for no service. No, I'm pretty sure I did ask for no service. So then, a little while later, it's still not done. So then I did lose it, and my husband's like, "Just don't." And I'm like, "I can't."
Nah, let her go.
I
Nah.
lost it at the front, and of course, there's not a manager on duty on Sundays, and so then I didn't go up the next day, because I thought, you've already ruined this day, I'm not gonna let you ruin my Monday. But then apparently after I had fallen asleep that night, my husband and mind you, like, they didn't even empty out our garbage in the bathroom, and then, like, when we got back, they just making our beds, they just threw the stuff up, they didn't make the beds. And then he did the old glass, and it, like, one looked a little dirty, and then the other one had the lipstick mark on it. Yeah,
We need to talk after this too. Was this in Wisconsin?
it was in New York.
Oh, okay. All right.
It was bad. I mean,
Anyone else?
I kind of Jekyll Hyde experience. I went into a place, and they were busy. Walked up to the bar, my wife and I. They ignored us. They waited on people that came after we were at the bar, and at that point, I was mad. They don't have to fall all over me, and they don't have to go crazy over me, but at least say, "I'll be
A little
with you in
hello
second,"
would work.
or anything. And the bartender was kind of prodding along, you know, and my wife finally, she's not afraid to speak up. She said, "Excuse me?" Okay, so, but I was mad at that time, so we ate there, and that experience was just the opposite. The girl that seated us and waited on us was excellent. She recommended stuff, so it was kind of, you know, she kind of turned probably what would have been not such a good experience for us around. And it was kind of a neat, the way she did it, the gal that way, just the difference in people.
And think how hard she had to work to get you back. I mean, if it wasn't for her personality being that good, it never would have brought you back.
And that made that experience for me at that place, and was a first-time experience. Had that not happened, I probably wouldn't have went back in there. And I will go in there.
And since?
Yeah.
It's been?
I have not went back
You
in there.
haven't yet,
but
okay.
This happened recently.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I will
Okay.
go back in. I'll give it,
Okay.
yeah.
You know, the fine line between winning and losing is too thin. It really is. It's so close. And it shows you the difference. Again, one person hi, welcome, come on in, making a big difference on business. One person there made a big difference. Unfortunately, a bunch of other folks tried to dismantle that scenario. So you've got to be that's why operations have to function as a team, and we'll get more into that aspect here in a few minutes. Up until this point, all I've been talking about is the relationship of us, customers, guests, clients, throw in whatever term you want, visitors, it's all the same. It's people coming to us for an experience or a product and rewarding us with their hard-earned money. That's what this equation is all about. And in this process, it's pretty simple. We really only have two classes of people. The first definition of a customer is very simple, and sometimes we take that for granted as well. What is our customer? What is a customer?
I am my car. I am my clothes. I am my bank account. I am my house. I obey my thirst. I have it my way. I just do it. I deserve a break today. I double my pleasure, double my fun. I live the high life because I'm worth it. I'm looking out for number one. I wait for nothing. I have a million choices. I get what I want. I do what's best for me. I spend my time where I want to spend it. No one wastes it but me. I have the world at my fingertips. If it doesn't work, I'll throw it out and get a new one. If I'm uncomfortable, I leave. There's another place just down the street. If I'm unhappy, I'm missing something. I find it. I buy it. If I want it, I get it. I accumulate. I collect. I acquire. I take. I use. I devour. I consume. I am not the center of the universe, but I'm the center of mine. I want to know what's in it for me. I want to know what I get out of it. I'm here to find happiness. I live for comfort. I exist to be served. The world exists to serve me. I am the customer. The customer is king. I am king.
I absolutely love that video because I think that completely defines everyone that walks in the door, everyone that walks into our community. It is the reality of it. Now, one of the things...
That's very unfortunate.
But who in here, the M word, let's go back to the millennials. Raise your hand. Be proud. Millennials, hands up. 23 and older, where are you? Okay? You grew up with this technology. Options. Anything you want to do, it's here. You can research it. I can find out what I want. I can have any information I need at any time. And I can change my allegiance to any business at any time based on what I know, what I find out. And we haven't even picked on centennials yet. Centennials being 23 and younger, who are basically every college and high school student out there today. There's a generation. Have you heard about centennials? No, because we're too obsessed with millennials. No, we can't get enough of millennials. We can't wait to love you and hate you and figure out how to market to you. Millennials are almost 40 years old now. Okay? It's a changing dynamic out there. But the great part about it is this is our customer. This is our guest. Now, how many of you, Friday night fish fry, go out for dinner? Have a drink, whatever it may be. Do you have one place? You, ma'am. One? Got a couple? 3? 4? 3? Okay. Who else? 2, 3, 4? Couple? We have options, don't we? How do you keep the options in order? Is it based on great experience? Those who take care of me, sounds like your last one was teetering, almost off the list. Might be getting cut from the team. Okay? But we keep our list together. We have an understanding of where we want to go. Customers we know. Do we get the best intel from our regular customers? Are they the most honest with you? Some. Some. Do you have regular customers that maybe really like you and don't want to hurt your feelings? You know, maybe they're happy with you 99% of the time, and that 1%, it just isn't worth upsetting you. I don't want to be a bad customer. But what happens is all of a sudden we start packing those moments away, don't we? We don't get the intel we really want off of our regular customers. So that's why we've got to have new people. We've got to open up that market. If you don't remember anything else you've had to put up with me saying for the last hour, remember one simple little word. Yet. Put this at the end, or beginning, depending upon, of everything you work on. There's a lot of people that come into my business that I don't know yet. There's a lot of people traveling through Wisconsin that haven't stopped in Sauk City yet. There's a lot of money out there I haven't made yet. When you look at it from that, it makes everything attainable. It's not just a dead end that, well, we didn't do this. The word yet changes the dynamic for us. I actually hung this was a banner, I hung this in our businesses as a reminder to our team how important one little word was. And I always laughed when it would be, and we gave tours and different groups that come through, and they'd always ask, like the new kid who started 2 days ago, go, what's that thing all about? This is for the people we haven't met, something like that. Close enough. We set the stage. He got it. He understood what our messaging was, that this was about meeting people, about making friends. I'm blessed to have this job. I love what I do. I love working for you. Back in the 90s, I met my now boss, Secretary Collette, who is the Secretary of the Department of Tourism. I met her. And little did I think that over the years, as we became friends and I got to know her, that when she became the Secretary of Tourism, she'd be like, I need a regional. You should think about applying for this job. Come on board with us. Okay? I didn't know that then, the future would mean to me yet. And it changed things. And I learned over time, too, that those relationships are very powerful. Now, if you're like me and you've got to delete something out of the hard drive to make room for more, at this age, I know how much I can pack in here and not completely go off kilter. How was your meal today? Was it okay? How was your drink? Was it okay? How's my presentation? Is it okay? Would you like to be done so you could go home? I might not like your answers, but I can get an answer with that question, can't I? How was your stay here? Was it everything you were hoping it would be? Did you enjoy your time at our hotel?
Fantastic.
It was great, thank you, yeah. How many of you, when you're asked a question, hey, is everything okay? What's your answer?
Totally awesome.
Totally awesome. What if it's not?
Totally awesome.
On your list of 3 places you go, if okay doesn't cut it anymore, are they off the list? Too often right now, we're okay people, so we don't want to shake it, we don't want to upset, so we just go with okay. The problem is our money doesn't keep it okay. We take the money to the great and the good and the awesome. Okay's out. This word's got to go in hospitality. And I still hear it almost every day. Was everything okay? What? What was okay? Well, your food, your experience. Well, now you're asking me questions. I can answer those. We've got to be specific. We really do. Any Packer fans in the room? Yeah? Ladies, how brokenhearted are you? Who just left? Yeah. Whether you know anything about football or not, Jordy Nelson is gone. Oh, my God. I used to show pictures of Jordy up on the screen, and I will tell you something, ladies. The guy's about this tall. He's a good-looking dude. All right? I'm in touch with my masculinity enough to say that I got a man crush on that dude. Okay? He was cool. He was a kind person. He was in a commercial for us several years ago, and he was just an absolute charm to meet. I hate to break your heart here. He's married to his high school sweetheart. When you're going to use a football player in a tourism commercial for your state, you vet. You really, really vet these people. How many times do we hear about professional football players doing things they shouldn't do?
Never.
Yeah, no, yeah. We don't want that. We don't want the best state to visit, by the way, he just got in trouble. No, we wanted to make sure that we were going to take a risk on a football player. It was the person to have.
So you knew about Jordy's prostitution ring?
Yeah, on his Kansas farm.
Okay.
Yeah, yep. No, he is, you're good. Glad this ain't a press conference. It is being recorded, though. Hi, folks. He was truly an absolutely wonderful person to meet. Truly was. And his wife was a sweetheart, and he filmed with us on a commercial. Totally off the topic here, but he was a true team player. Not only just with his own team, but with tourism and working with us. I mean, this guy filmed in the pouring rain with us when it should have been a day like today. It was pouring rain. It was miserable. After like 12 hours of filming, he jumps up and goes, "That was great. You guys rock." Really? Because I hated this afternoon, you know. But he was just, fist pumping. He was just a cool guy. But if you're a football fan and you watch the Packers win a Super Bowl, any Vikings fans in here? This is called a ring. Bump. Okay? When the sometimes I can't help myself. This is more fun when I'm on the far west side of the state, trust me. When the Packers won, did every team player get a Super Bowl ring?
Yes.
Yes. Every manager?
Yes.
Front office?
Yes.
Sales? I have a friend of mine who's on the sales team with the Packers. Hi, Drew, have you seen my... Yeah, I've seen your Super Bowl ring 1,000 times. I'm going to cut your finger off and steal it one of these days. It looks really cool. Thank you. But they won as a team. They played as a team. The entire organization won as a team. And do you think that even on Super Bowl Sunday when they won, they were all best friends? No. When you guys get off work at 5 o'clock on a Friday, do y'all head to the same supper club for the same drink, same fish fry, same brandy old... No. We're not all friends. We like each other. We'll work together. We're teammates. We have our differences. But we don't hang out together. We probably have our differences of opinion. Honestly, I don't want a team that loves each other. I want differences. I want opinions. I want people to be able to share those opinions. The only way you get better as an organization is to not be okay as a team either. You've got to have people challenge it. Why do we do this? Why do you do that? We need to do this better. We need to be a team. We need to work and fight as a team. How many of you feel comfortable, and you're sitting next to your boss right now, going into your boss's office and saying what's on your mind? A lot of hands. Without repercussion. You can say what's on your mind. How many of you have ever had one of these? We need to talk. That's called the old crap finger. Ain't nothing good ever going to come out of that. Did you have my father? If I saw this once, I saw it 1,000 times. Son?
You have experience with it.
Oh, yeah. Ain't nothing good coming out of this, right? I had one of my best people, and this guy was great. He came to me Saturday afternoon, walks up to me. We need to talk. Best person. This is a guy that all through high school, into college. Great work. Came back every weekend, did everything. I mean, really awesome, outstanding person. Never had an issue. Always good. He's like a friend. Like a son. We go in the office and he calls me things that longshoremen don't say in Superior. Pissed off. Yeah, said that. Okay? Very upset with me. But he came in the office, closed the door. We had a true man-to-man. Why? Because I screwed up. Big time. His buddies were there from college, staying with us. Night before, he introduces me to his friends. He had always spoken apparently very kindly of me to his friends about why he still worked here and he enjoyed working with me. I was just having fun. I was joking around. I was in the mess. I said, really, you're friends with this guy? Pfft, yeah, what a loser. I'm just having fun. I'm joking. I insulted him to the core. His friends, as soon as I walked away, they're like, that's the guy you like working for? What a jerk. Nobody would ever treat me like that. I would never put up with that. And he was embarrassed. He was hurt. And I think he knew that I was kidding, but his friends didn't, and that's all that mattered. I said, are they still here? Yeah, get them down here now. Have them for lunch, whatever, get them down here, lunch is on me. I don't care what you got to do, get them down here. I fell on the sword, I apologize. I said I truly had no intentions of ever disrespecting this person. I love this guy, he's great, one of my best people ever. I know his family. I was just kidding. And they were cool. They're like, okay, we thought you were a jerk. Well, I am, but didn't mean it. I did not mean that. And they were, they understood and we apologized, but I realized one thing that was very important that day is that if he wasn't comfortable enough coming to me at any time saying what was on his mind, he was ready to walk out. He was ready to tell me right then and there. He admitted that like the next day. He goes, I was done. I was never coming back here again. 6 years down the drain. If you don't have that type of relationship with your boss to where you can be one-on-one, to share what's on your mind, on your heart, I argue that you're working for the wrong person. Another thing that I was a big advocate of, I just never believed in titles. We didn't wear titles. I still don't wear titles. I don't believe in titles. I didn't find it important. To a customer, do you care if you're talking to the manager or the waiter or the concierge or the housekeeper? Who cares? Take care of me. Take my money. I like you. Here. I like you more. Take more. I mean, that's what it's all about, is keeping people engaged with us as much as we can. Because at the end of the day, it's about us. Self-esteem. I love Clerks.
I love it.
Convenience store folks tell me it's not the best movie ever made, right? Okay? We've all had that day, all right? But it is about the self-esteem. It is about that person in the mode, right setting, right attitude, having fun with it. It's very important that we keep those things in check, every piece of that, because you can't build the blocks to have perfect service if you don't get all of that stuff in line. Your personality. I'm old enough to know what I don't know. I'm also old enough to know that I ain't changing. I am what I am. What you see is what I am. And I that's the way it's going to go. I do everything I can to welcome people. I try to be an advocate for customer service and making sure that we are sharing the message that makes us win. And I do it my way. And I hope that works. Is that okay? No. Does it work? I don't know. I ask for your guidance. Customer service relations. Do we always win? Is a customer always right? Customer always right?
No, but they're supposed to be.
Oh, good answer. No, customer's not always right. If you're brave enough to come back for version number 2 of this in April, that's exactly what we're going to talk about, is engaging with conflict, complaints. Customer, are they always right? No. What happens if you train your staff that a customer's always right? What happens when they're not? Are we willing to be wrong, lower our standards, just to keep a customer? Have you ever fired a customer? Have you ever fired an employee? Who's fired an employee? Who's fired a customer? Customer will do more damage to your business than the employee will.
Definitely.
And take more of your time. And keep coming back, making you apologize for things you may not have done wrong in the first place. Occupying your time, lowering your standards. So we've got to make sure that we don't put ourselves in that. But the reality is we do lose guests. Whether we fire one, and that doesn't happen a lot, but we do lose customers. And you do have to be cognizant of why we lose guests to be able to make sure that we properly welcome them. Why do we lose guests? You didn't disappoint. Every time I put that up, people laugh. I think it's part of the inevitability. We're all going to get there at some point. Statistically, in our lives, in our business, in our community, statistically, 1% of the people that we know die. Who here has lost a loved one? Is it safe to say, that doesn't really matter, it was only 1% of the people you know? I mean, really, think about it. Is that not the most ridiculous thing? When you think about the statistics of it, is there any way that would make any sense? Would that comfort us in any way to say, oh, it's a little small? No, it's real. It's real. It's a real loss. I've shared this one before. I'll share a quick. I had a little old lady who used to come in every Thursday. 88 years old, came into one of our restaurants with a walker, got out of the cab, came into the restaurant. Thought it would be Friday by the time she got in. Okay? I asked the staff. I saw her come in. I go, who is that? That's Marge. Okay, what do we know about Marge? Not much. Why? Okay, Mr. Customer Service, go chat with Marge. Hi, Marge. How are you? What do you want? How's your day? Why are you bothering me? Okay. How many of you would just let Marge go? My DNA doesn't allow it. I'm going to crack that egg. I'm going after Marge. I don't want to harass her, but I'm going to get a smile out of Marge. I wasn't always in that place, but I would go, every time I'd see her, if I was there on Thursday, and this, for 88 years, never missed. 11:15, boom, cab, there she is. Always on time. One day I flat out just said, hey, can I sit down and have a cup of coffee with you? Whatever, it's your place. I sat down and had a cup of coffee, and I said, tell me about yourself. Why? You come in here every Thursday, 11:15. You never miss. You're a great customer. I just want to welcome you. Your food's all right. Okay. Why do you come in every Thursday, 11:15? I play bridge with the girls at 1 o'clock on Thursday, so I come in here and have a bite to eat. Your food's all right. Ooh, a compliment. Okay. That's about as warm and fuzzy as we got. For the next 2 to 3 years, that's fuzzy. It didn't go much beyond that. Out of the blue, she would drop little things on me. How are you doing? Not well, my son passed away. Again, we're talking 1% here, okay? What do you say? I'm sorry? I don't care who you are. You should never have to, I don't care if you're 88, 108, 18, you should never bury a child. This woman's endured one of the worst pains a person can have, and it's her child. So, I tried to console her and say, I'm sorry, and that was about as far as that got. There came a Thursday, she didn't walk in the door. What did I think? Yeah. A few days later, obituary column, there she was. I didn't know her last name. Until I saw the picture, I didn't know it was her. Felt bad. Didn't get to know her, regular customer. I couldn't put my hand on a Bible and tell you why I did what I did next, but I did it. I was off, and I found out that the funeral home was 3 blocks from my house. I walked to her wake. I went in to say my piece. Knowing her personality, I thought maybe a couple of friendly words might not hurt, helping get the pearly gates open, doing my good thing as a Christian man. I went in there with no intentions of doing anything other than a few moments. I got to the front door, and there was a hand on my shoulder, pulled me back, and said, I don't think we know you. Crap. Hi, I'm Drew. Drew. Do we know Drew? The restaurant guy. Oh my God, are you the restaurant guy? Oh, mother never shut up about you. Excuse me? She loved you guys. Oh, your staff, you were so good to her. You're talking about the lady in the casket, right? I never knew. She never said that to me, but she told her family. And that put that into perspective for me like nothing else in my life. That was a real eye-opening moment. So again, 1% of your guests will depart. But sometimes it has a moment with you that will stick and something you can remember. 3% move away. Leave. Not in town anymore. Statistically, if your population is staying static, at least you're not losing anyone. If it's going up, 3% is leaving. Hopefully a higher percentage is moving in. But statistically, 3% do leave. They're no longer here. Relationships. I talked about the supper clubs. How many do you have? How many do you go to? You change your relationships. A friend of mine used to joke around about, you haven't lived unless you've been married. Twice. Changed his relationship status. Okay? 5%. 9% competition. I'll go look for the better price. Now and then, instead of the $12 burger, I'll go jump in the drive-thru for the $1 menu. Now and then. Competition does enter in. 14% do not like what you're selling. Whether it's a service industry or a product, your customer doesn't like what you're selling. They don't want to come back and buy that product again. Can we agree? Who here writes a budget, pays bills, knows what a P&L looks like? That's what we do. Businesses, right there. What am I selling? How much am I selling it for? How many people do I need? Who am I competing with? What's my price point? On and on and on and on. That's a business right there. And this is where we spend almost all of our time. We miss, unfortunately, many times the most important aspect of why we lose customers. And that's the fact that 68% don't come back because of us. Because we didn't deliver. Regardless of product, service, price, anything else, we lose them because we don't deliver personally. So that's where we got to start. And that's why I encourage you to take a fresh look at how you interact with your teams, how you interact with your neighbors, how you interact with your town, your chamber. How do you position yourself to make sure that when they're talking about us, them being visitors and guests and customers, what are they saying? 80% of our guests, again, use whatever term you want, guests, visitors, clients, 80% share their experiences on social media. Who's been on TripAdvisor? What's TripAdvisor sell? What product do they sell? Reviews. Public opinion. Here's what everyone thinks of what you're about to do. Do we go to the top 5, this is the best place ever? Or do we start at the bottom?
I usually start with the worst.
Okay? We all do. Not all, but many of us. What happened here that I don't want to have happen to me? Okay? How about all the other things we haven't heard about? We attract visitors from all over the country, all over the world, and different generations. Okay? My kids started here. I chased them off to here. And I found Twitter, so they went over there. They hid over behind Snapchat. I now have a Snapchat account. They're looking for other things I haven't discovered yet. We had Germany, you know, I mean, #1 international market for Wisconsin is Germany. They don't put their phone number or their website on their billboards. They put up their WhatsApp address. Who's heard of WhatsApp? 1, 2. So it just shows you how much is out there and how much is being said about us, about our reputation. To get back to the inevitability discussion, not to sound morbid here, but, you know, if everything you did came to an end today, whether personally, professionally, your business, if it ended today, your reputation is everything that happened prior to that point. Everything that happens after that is part of how well you plan for the future. The little changes you're going to make, the little tweaks, the little improvements to make it better. I'm tempted to answer that just to see who it is. Wouldn't that be fun? It's probably some financial advisor who would come charging in the door. Who are you? Our reputation is everything looking back, and that's exactly what our reputation is. Henry Ford said it way back then, and he was right. Your reputation is who you are today. Your business got in business for one purpose, to bring guests in through the door. Welcome them in, take care of them, and to capture the stack of money, right? Put that in the bank, pay our bills, live our lives, make our money, expand, welcome them back. That was all about welcoming folks in. That's why we opened the door. Harley Davidson. There's an interesting Sauk Prairie discussion, huh? You can tell I haven't updated this one in a while. I just got my 115 logo I'm working on, we're actually doing some stuff with. How many of you were happy to see Sauk Prairie Harley leave town? No, I didn't think so. How many of you were shocked by it? How many of you have noticed less Harley Davidsons coming through town? Maybe. Do you still notice Harley Davidsons coming through town though? Love my bike. Love my bike. Love riding Highway 60, love coming through town, love this area. Nothing about it has stopped me from coming to this community, just because of that one business. I didn't spend all day hanging out there. I'd stop there, then I'd go eat at Culver's, and then I'd go do this, and I'd shop, and I'd hang out, and I'd spend days here. I'd spend part of the day here, and then I'd ride on. Things change in a community. One of the things with Harley Davidson, though, as a 115-year-old company, is they've changed their products. The same bike that we ride today isn't the bike they were selling 115 years ago to the same people. Ladies, you're the largest growing consumer of Harley Davidsons now. Markets have changed. It's wonderful. But this is a company that's seen its ups and downs. For a community like ours, like yours here, that has lost a piece of this puzzle, don't ever let it hurt your opinion of anything related to that. Because believe me, as a person who promotes riding through the state, this is still a premier area and a loved area. And it brings those folks through this area on a regular basis. Who remembers the lowest point of cultural fashion evolution on the planet? Who still has one of these hanging in their closet? Nobody's going to admit to that one, huh? I actually have a friend of mine who started a company to sell these things. Who in their right mind in the 2000s would start a business to sell leisure suits? A guy who realized nobody else is selling leisure suits. He's now a millionaire because there's a lot of costume businesses out there, 70s themes. He actually had the contract with the TV. I mean, this guy made a lot of money selling product that he didn't think anybody wanted. And turned out, oops, I was wrong. They want these things. So you do have to make sure that you have a product that your customers want, that you're able to sell it to them. And best customer service I've ever encountered. Because trust me, nobody's making impulse buys on leisure suits. Okay? You got to work this for them a little bit. Again, I bring it back to this. The money doesn't, remind ourselves, remind our staff and our people, the money doesn't come from the bank. Didn't fall out of the sky. Still haven't found a tree I can pluck it off of. Okay? It's our customers and our guests who are gracious enough to reward us with cash. They bring us that as a reward for doing a great job. And success is based on how well we do welcoming them in and then growing that base. They are also the ones who sell our business for us. They're the marketing plan. They're the ones that go out and say, it's the best place. If you need this product, that's where you go. Go to that business and buy that product. And the last part, I didn't check my time. Where are we at? Have I crossed the line here? Oh, I'm right there. Almost done. You're almost free. Just remember these last couple of things. Those of you sitting right next to your boss, the ones that are laughing, how many of you think your boss is nuts? How many of you are the boss and you think you're nuts? Okay, I love it. I got him to laugh. Hey, it's a successful day. Okay. Have you ever gone up to the boss and just said flat out, why'd you do that? You told us to do this. We think you're crazy. Why did you do this? And then you get an answer and then you go, oh, I didn't see that coming. Sometimes we do get an answer that opens our eyes to, again, leadership and the idea that there are people making decisions that, and again, maybe we don't agree. And again, as a team, I would hope that I've got people that do challenge what we're doing and say, I don't know if that works. We got an idea, boss. Can we share it with you? Of course. The old saying is, what is it? You're not promotable if you're not replaceable. I mean, I live by that, I want to be around people that are smarter than me. Make me look good. I need all the help I can get. Nothing in my house ever broke because my kids did it. You know why? Did you do that? No, it wasn't me. You didn't leave this year? No, wasn't me, Dad. I know that for a fact. Okay? I'm always amazed, though, when things do get picked up after I make those little comments. So apparently my rhetoric still works. But in a business setting, we can't wait around for the problem to solve itself. We do have to be proactive and solve our own issues. If there's a mistake, we need to be right on it. We can't wait for the problem to be discovered by anyone other than us. Because if we don't solve it, typically our customers will. They're going to find the mistake before we took care of it. Again, remember that word? No, you don't remember that word. Good. Do you feel that you are 100% loyal? Loyalty. Are you loyal to your business? Are you loyal to your boss? Are you loyal to your loved ones, your children, your spouse, your friends? Are you loyal? Do you do what's asked of you and try to return that? Loyalty. I do think we've, in a sense, maybe gotten away from a loyalty aspect of society to where we're loyal to those that we respect. And respect has to be earned, not followed, earned, but loyalty. How many of you are the most enthusiastic person in your business? You set the tone every morning. You're the go-to person. You're the one that makes everybody happy.
No.
No? Are you? Yeah. That probably works and you don't realize it. Who's that Are you the go-to person? Are you the person with the drive? You got the energy. Do you know who the person is that has the energy if you're not her or him? Do you know that person? Do you go to that person every morning to get that little jolt of energy? That you know that they're the person going to be like, good morning, how you doing? Let's get doing this. Let's go. Let's have fun with this. I know who that person is in my life. And I surround myself with those people. It doesn't mean I cut loose the people who are bringing me down. I mean, sometimes you have friends that have a bad day and you got to, come on, let's get you there. But you don't need to be doing it every morning to the same person. Okay? I try to surround myself with winners. People that bring me up, people that are truly role models that I can go, I really love your energy. You make me feel good. I learn from you. That's a wonderful feeling to have those kind of people around you. Look for those people. You don't have to be the person. It's great if you are, and if you are, emulate. And if you're not, let that person be that person too. Do you have one of those people on your staff that is that person you can identify? Or is there one person that popped into your mind the minute I said that? He just popped in, you go, that's the person. Always in a good mood. Nothing's going to stop them. Isn't it cool to just let them run? I mean, that is awesome when you have those people on your staff or in your life. How many veterans do I have in this room? Raise your hand. Is there any veterans in here today? None? Wow. That doesn't happen very often. I always take a moment to sincerely thank our veterans. And the reason I do that, one, I'm a strong patriot. I come from a long line of military family. When I was hiring people, I would always take the veterans, put them at the top of the pile. I don't owe them a job, but I owe them an interview. And at the very least, I owe them a thank you. And my saying to my managers was always, you know what, maybe we can't hire them, but if they were willing to fight for our freedom, they're probably willing to fight for our bottom line. How bad could it be? But again, doesn't mean that they match the requirements of what we're looking for in a position. But there's my personal soapbox, and thank you for indulging me. Fix the problems, don't worry about who did it. Again, wasn't me, I didn't do it, doesn't matter. We can always figure out who the problem is, and I do mean who the problem is. If the problem's being caused by someone, we find that out in time. It's better to solve it and move on. Water cooler talk. Worse than that, how many of you have had a business discussion and you're truly talking about business in your business? And the minute you're having that in-depth discussion about business, a customer walks in the door. What do? Stop talking! Have you ever been that customer? You look in the window and they're in there. You open the door and they go. You feel about that tall. Engage those people in your conversation. It's a talent and it's fun, but do it. Especially if you're talking business. I mean, you're talking about, we got a new product, I just brought this in, I want you guys to know what we got here, you got to check this out. Somebody walks in, hey, come here, Bob, you come in here all the time. Check this out, this is brand new. What do you think of these? Engage people in your discussion as a habit to not disengage them. And it does take talent. It is part of something. You want to talk about some training. There's a personal training aspect to make sure that we never stop the discussion internally when a guest enters into it, because we want to bring them into it. Sometimes you've got to play along. But it is an engaging moment. Come on. No commentary needed. Nothing. We discussed loyalty. How many of you are 100% honest with your boss, your spouse, your children, your friends? More importantly, with yourself. I have a friend of mine that's a wonderful public speaker. If he was here, he'd have been done an hour ago, because he's like, hey, do you like yourself? Do you like other people? Go. We're good. I mean, but that's his attitude. He goes, be honest with yourself. Who are you? Do you like what you are? Do you like who you are? Are you comfortable? Do you know your own little quirks? Know yourself and be happy with who you are. I sincerely thank you for your time. I sincerely thank you for spending an hour and a half plus with me this afternoon. Thank you for all your hard work, okay? I got the best job in state government, and I couldn't do this job if it wasn't for your support and your business knowledge and ability to keep this a wonderful place. Thank you to Tawana and the Chamber for hosting me today and having me here. God bless all of you for everything you do. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So a couple of takeaways for you. Inside of your booklet that Drew shared with you is a lot of the points that he talked about. But if you don't do HR for your business or onboarding and training, then pass it along to the person that does, because there's lots of good information, and I think it would help you have kind of a process to walk you through just how to remind employees. Because we have so many Cynics people here, I'm going to end it with this, because I want you to leave with something to really think about and hang on to this. So Drew talks a lot about being loyal, okay? I'm really loyal to people and businesses that give back to their community. That's just kind of who I am. Never worked for Chambers till I moved here, always human service. But when I came to town and became the chamber director and was learning about it, I was like, wow. I was kind of a millennial at the time, but they didn't call me that. And I said, I never really thought about joining a business that exists to help all business and all people through training and things like that. And the more I learned about it, I thought, what a great resource. And even if I didn't need that business at that moment in time, isn't it great that it existed for people who did need that help at the time? be something bigger than yourself. And so I became very, very, very loyal to the point of obsessing over my loyalness. Are you a chamber member? Nope, sorry, can't come in your business. And so maybe there's another convenience store in town, I don't know, that just hasn't seen the value of joining our chamber. And so for me, honest truth, and you all know it because you see me, I never, ever, ever, you will never, ever see me walking into the other convenience store because I am loyal to a business that sends all of their employees there. My husband, on the other hand, many of you know him. When he moved to town, he really liked those quick bites you could get at the other place. And I wouldn't know he had been in there until I'd checked my debit card. And then we'd almost get divorced. I'll tell you, for the last time, you're not gonna go in there and use your debit card. I'm watching you. So there was one person at Cinex that honestly changed his life. It was a lady called Sandy. Because he travels every week for work, and every week sometimes he has to leave by 4 to get to Milwaukee. And if Sandy was in there opening, making coffee, and she saw him at the gas pump, she knows he likes his company, she'd open the door and she'd go, "Hey Les, you want to come get some coffee before you drive to Milwaukee?" Just like that. He loves his coffee, but more importantly, Sandy took the time to know his name. I promise you, and y'all know it too, Lord, the people that do the subs in there, he loves y'all. He never ever will walk in that other place because now it's about a relationship with you all, the way you make him feel when he goes in there. So all this stuff we can train about, I promise you it makes a difference with people and when people are gonna come back in return. So thank you for remembering people's names. Thank you for agreeing to come today. And I hope that you'll take this back and think about ways, how can I make a difference in someone's life, even when you don't know that you're making a difference. So thank you. If you have questions, let us know. We will put this back on the website if you want to share it with other employees. So thanks so much, Drew, for